Hello. I love watching people jam out when it's their first time on here. Listen, Epic Mike was the funniest. I look over and he's just like he had his eyes closed. Like he was just jamming. He was the funniest. But what's up, everybody? Hi, Steph. Thank you for coming on. This was
Hi.
very last minute. Like we were talking in DM just saying, we're like, all right, we gotta talk about this on stream. And then there's a couple other things too, but we'll get to it. How are you doing, Steph? How was your day?
I'm doing good. I'm sorry that we started late. Blame
Oh
me.
no,
I'm always late.
it's
I'm
12
always late.
minutes. It's
Uh,
okay.
I had to borrow Beardo's blow dryer to blow dry my hair.
Just
So I
exposed Beardo, guys. He's not a blow dryer. For the beard, though,
think
I'm
for
assuming.
the beard, I think a lot of guys who have beards have a blow dryer to keep it, keep it nice and tight, nice and trim.
Nice and Listen, that
So,
means it's
and it looks
clean,
really good.
okay?
He always has it nice and clean and trim. It looks really good.
Yeah, well, there you go. You need
Yeah.
to, guys, take notes. Beardo
Yeah.
needs to do what? Wasn't he gonna do weren't you gonna do a stream with Lee like on beard maintenance? I want to see that. I don't have a beard, but it would still be fun to watch. Like, oh, I don't know. After Beardo came on my stream, I was afraid that I was gonna wake up with like a full blown beard because of all the testosterone.
I know.
Testosterone. God, I can't talk. Hygiene for the ladies. All right, Beardo.
Exactly, exactly. You got to keep it nice and nice and together. My blow dryer broke, so he saved me. So that was great.
Does he have Beardo doesn't have a man? Oh wait, are you growing a man
No,
bun? He doesn't have a man
no, he doesn't
bun.
have a man bun. Mm-mm. He just got a haircut though, and it looks great. Looks really
Nice.
good.
I did too a couple days ago. I had to. I have to keep up with it. It's really hot in Florida. Like I used to be lazy and I'd get it like every 8 months. I'm like, it's okay if it's like down to my butt. But now I'm like, you know what? I need to get the layers. Steph gets it. I gotta get the
Oh,
layers.
I
I gotta get it
totally
thinned
get
out a
it.
bit. We both have
Yeah,
really long, thick hair. So yeah,
yeah, I
Steph's is even
totally get
thicker
it.
than
I
mine. So
cannot like as soon as I walk outside, like I start sweating. I'm actually thinking about going and getting some injections that help with like not
what?
sweating so much.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that. It's
Yeah.
bad. There's some
I
meds
can
that
be
like
in
really.
Texas and like be outside in the heat with jeans and everything because it's a dry heat and I don't sweat at all. Like it's fine. I'm totally cool. But here because of the humidity, I'm just like a faucet. I just cannot stop sweating. It's disgusting.
It is. It's wonderful here. So I only been here a few times before moving here, but I would say October to like May, maybe beginning of June. It's great weather, but otherwise it's just like yeah, you're like a faucet when you go outside. It's hot.
I know. I'm
It's
looking
pretty
forward to
bad.
the fall and winter time to see what the
Yeah.
weather here is
Have you
like.
ever been here at that time?
Mm-mm.
Oh, it's great. It's great. I've been
Yeah.
here in January was my first time here and it was really nice. It was like
Well, actually, no. I came in October when we had the
it was
meetup
still
in
hot though.
October.
It
Yeah, it
was
was
like
still hot.
mid 80s, which is compared to right now, that's nothing.
Yeah.
But that's why I say like October is when it seems to start getting better. I've never been here in November, but I'm guessing it still starts to lower. So yeah, because I moved here. Oh wait, no, I have been here in November. What am I talking about? I moved here in October. So yeah, November, December, January, very great. Let's say hi real quick to everyone. I see Boss Hog, Lulu,
What's up, Boss
Charlie,
Hog?
Americus, and Americus. Thank you for. I didn't see this. I didn't get an email or I didn't see it, but you gave me 350 since you did a review of the Barbie movie, and since I'm a man of my word, thank you for the 350 Americas on my PayPal. And Hokies, thank you so much for the 50 because we need a Fear the Steph 50.
Ooh, 50. I think I did that okay.
You did good. It was a very feminine 50, but that's good.
Yeah.
A
I'm not
loud feminine
I can't
50.
do it like Beardo, unfortunately.
No, he
50.
can't. At least everyone's eardrums are safe right now. Oh my gosh, I had the Fortnite stream up last night while I was playing Dead by Daylight, and I just like had it low in the background,
Yeah.
and I got scared. It was like quiet, and the bear was just like, "Whoa!" And I was like, because I was playing a scary game, and I was like, "Damn, I thought that I died." Thanks, Beardo. And hello, Roto. I did tell Steph that you said hi, by the way.
Yeah. What's up, Brodo?
And I see Picasso in here.
Yeah.
Sorry if I miss anyone. I'm just kind of scrolling. Phil. Oh, look at Rhino's here. Hi, Rhino.
Hi, Rhino.
Whoa,
Yeah.
Bo. Like I said, Phil, Cajun Corey, Andrew, King of Diet Coke, and Joel Carver. You did good. 199. There you go. You got a
Thank you.
199 for that. If you do a review of Oppenheimer, I'll give you $2. One for each bomb drop. Two. I don't know if I'll do it. Maybe I'll do an Oppenheimer review when I see it. It depends. I do want to see that. I just I gotta have 3 hours to go sit down and watch a movie.
I enjoyed it. I liked it.
Good. I think that it was genius on their part to drop, Oppenheimer and Barbie on the same weekend. People were saying it was like a battle, but I think it was smart because all the girls that went to see Barbie and dragged their boyfriends to see it, they're gonna go the next weekend to see Oppenheimer, and all the guys that didn't wanna go see Barbie seen Oppenheimer the first, so I think Oppenheimer's gonna come out really well. They did
Well,
30,000,000.
thinking either that or right, or we have like like a friend date outing where all the guys go see Oppenheimer and all the girls go see Barbie. So that
Yeah,
way like the guys don't have to go see Barbie if they don't want to. There's like a
exactly.
movie for couples to split off and go and have their own fun,
Yeah, I
which is
think that
cool.
was
I
smart.
didn't
They're
mind
I'm
Oppenheimer. I actually really liked it. I
I wanna
enjoyed
see,
it.
and I like all the actors that were in there too. I really, even though Florence Pugh was getting a little weird, like, in real life, I like her. I think she's a great actor, and I like Emily Blunt as well, and just all of them. So
Yeah, Emily Blunt was phenomenal. She was so great in that movie. Also Josh Hartnett. I did not expect to see Josh Hartnett, and I was like, "Holy crap, that's Josh Hartnett!" Like I have not seen him act in a long time, and I could not believe he was in a Nolan film. But he
yeah.
was outstanding as well. He did
A
so
couple of
great.
people said that. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. Whoever I was on a stream with, it was a girl that said he still looks really good. He
Oh,
was
he
on
was.
Black Mirror. This episode really screwed me up. I don't know if you watch Black Mirror,
No, I
but he
don't
was
watch
on
Black.
one with Aaron Paul, and it was so the story of this episode was they're astronauts in the 60s and they made like AI robots of themselves to stay with their
Uh-huh.
families, but they can put their conscious into it. There's this like up in the ship, there's this machine that they go into, and their conscious fully goes into the AI robot, and it's a very it's just like them. It looks just like them, and some crazy stuff goes down. Like when I ended the episode, I was like, I can't watch Black Mirror for a little bit. Like that's
Yeah.
just it was a good episode though. Him and Aaron Paul both did a great job. But yeah, when I saw, I was like, is that Josh Hartnett? I didn't know he could
Yeah, it was
act.
Josh
So
Hartnett. I
he
could
looked
not believe
good.
it. I was like, "Holy crap." Like, I had the biggest crush on Josh Hartnett
Oh,
back in the day.
Pearl Harbor
Oh,
days.
yeah,
He
the
looked so
faculty.
good. Oh
Like,
yeah,
oh
yeah.
man, I was like, "Oh, you are so cute." Like, I
Yep.
wanted my boyfriend to look just like Josh Hartnett.
The 90s, we had some good heartthrobs back then. Nowadays, it's a
Mhm.
little. I mean, not that there's not good looking guys, but the style's a little weird these days. So it's to be clear, hi Ian. It's pronounced Killian Murphy. I'm tired of people arguing on this. Are
How are
you
they
okay,
pronouncing
Ian?
it? I always pronounce it Killian Murphy.
Yeah, me
Are they
too.
saying like Cillian or something like that?
Probably.
Killian. Killian was outstanding too. Oh,
Have you seen the
I
people
have
complaining about the
seen that.
cast being too white? It's historically yes,
Yeah, those are the people that are
you're
okay with race swaps and bending history. They're the ones that actually really loved that Cleopatra documentary that Jada Pinkett Smith made. Like,
yeah, and
those are the people that enjoyed that.
Egypt banned it, so that should tell you something, but no. Right, they banned it or they tried to? I don't remember.
um, oh
I
yeah,
know they
Egypt. I
wanted
think they
to.
banned it. No, they sued. Egypt sued.
They got real mad. I don't blame them.
I know.
Cillian, okay. Ian's like,
I've
"I'm done with
never
this
pronounced it
argument."
Cillian.
No, me neither. Ian's funny.
Oh, dude, Joel Carver said Lucky Number 11. That was a great movie. I loved that movie. Have you seen that movie?
I don't think I have seen that one. I'll have
Oh,
to add
you
it
need
to
to
the
see that movie.
list.
That's a great movie. Lucky Number 11. Has Bruce Willis in it, I
Oh, yeah.
think?
I can
Is it
picture
Bruce
it now.
Willis?
I've never seen it. I think it's Bruce Willis. What hold on. Let's look it up.
Lucky Number 11. That's such a great movie. I love that movie.
That came out like late 90s, right?
I don't know.
Let's see. I'm looking it up real quick. Sorry, chat. I must
But
know.
yeah,
Oh no, 2006. 2006, yeah.
all those people, yeah, who are complaining about it because it is historically accurate, are just ridiculous. I watch a lot of documentaries, and I really enjoyed the movie. Um,
Lucy Liu, she's in that too.
yeah, the people who are doing that, like literally going to a movie and like timing, oh, okay, wait, oh, 20 minutes in, we finally see a woman, and then 5 minutes later, we just see her boobs. It's like, who cares? That's
Oh
how it
no.
happened. You're telling a story about this one man's life, and surprise, he has sex with women. He got married to a white one. Like, whoa, oh my gosh, mind
It's
blower,
ridiculous.
mind
Yeah,
blown. Like, oh, we don't see any black people. I'm timing it. Like, it's so stupid. It's
I am
ridiculous.
5
Those are the
minutes in
people
and
that
I
are
have
just
not
trying to,
seen
yeah, they're just trying to find something to complain about.
yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's what we live in now, and sometimes kind of on like both sides too, but it's obviously heavily more on the woke side, and that's where they bend the knee to these people, and it's still not good enough. They do all this stuff, all this race swapping. I don't find I know a lot of people are quick to call certain things woke, and it's with good reason because there's a lot of that crap everywhere. But if there's a movie and it's a newer movie and they have like the main character happens to be trans, but they don't shove it down your throat and you don't even like they don't even talk about it, or if it's gay or I don't think that's woke if it's a new character. And I
Hmm.
do understand why people are like, no, it's woke and they're mad about it, but I don't feel that way if it's an old franchise like Indiana Jones, all these ones that they're messing with and making female
Yeah.
leads, and that's when I think it's woke because you're taking something that's already been made, or like Ghostbusters. I won't even watch that one, the 2016 one. I won't even look at that
Oh
one because
God,
I know
that's
it's not
oh,
going to
it's
be good.
terrible.
I heard it was
Like I have a
terrible,
good
and
example of that. I just started watching Invincible, and
oh,
like
you did? You just started? I love
oh,
that
I love
show.
it. I love it. But like the main character's best friend is gay. And it's not really like shoved in your face. There's no like,
Mm-mm.
oh, storyline of him being gay. No, he's just a gay character. And in one episode, like you see, a guy that he's interested in, and there was an inciting incident and he has to go and try and save them. Like it's not a huge thing. They don't make like this story about, people having to be sensitive because he's gay. No, he's just another character. So that's a way to write a character in your story and have it be good and have people be interested in the story,
Yeah, I use
and
the
not
example. Oh no, go ahead.
and
Sorry.
not have like some woke agenda. No, you just have a character and he happens to be gay. Like that's it.
Yeah, it's because it is does get overdone, and because people are so upset of his like old IPs getting changed for that reason. But I think that we should like if we are so quick to call everything woke, then it's just like we're gonna hate everything.
Hmm.
Which I don't like a lot of stuff because there's a lot of garbage that comes out now. But I use the Evil Dead Rise as an example. I love the old Evil Dead movies with Bruce Campbell, my favorite. They're great. But the new one, it wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible either. It was its own thing though. It wasn't the Ash story or anything. And they have a trans son in there. And halfway through the movie, I didn't even like it didn't register because they don't even mention the word. They don't mention any of it. And there was a lot of people that were like, "Oh, it ruined the movie. It's woke now." I'm like, "But this is a whole new family. It's not like they took Bruce Campbell and made Ash trans or changed him or made him gay or something."
Hmm.
So that's another example where I didn't find the movie woke for that reason. And spoiler alert, that the kid, well, teenager, whatever, dies. So I feel like if they were trying to shove some agenda, that'd be the only person to survive and save everyone or something like that. So another example that it's just in movies, and it's always been in movies. In the 90s, there was gay characters and stuff. It's just they want to act like it never existed, and that's why it's
Right.
everything is like that now. So
Well, they want to act like it never existed so they can act like they're still oppressed. So like they're
exactly,
fighting, they have something to
Ex-
fight for. But
exactly. They have something
everybody
to cry
technically
about.
has still already has rights. Everybody has the same rights. If you're in America, you have the same rights as the person sitting next to you. There's nothing extra, but they need to create
Exactly.
a struggle in order to have something to, I don't know, pretend fight for or something, be oppressed, whatever.
They have to virtue signal.
Yeah.
Disparu. Invincible is great. People complained more about his girlfriend, but I didn't even notice it when watching. Yeah, I didn't mind her. Like I know she's like super powered, but she's like I mean, if you watch have you watched the new Adam Eve that came out, the little mini movie about
I
her?
haven't. Okay. So I stayed up and I finished all of Invincible, and then that Adam Eve came on, and I was like, okay, I can't. I'm too tired. So I haven't watched that yet. Hi, Disbrew.
What's up,
But
Disparu?
but yeah, I haven't. I know that like it's the show is based off a Robert Kirkman comic. I didn't even know that. I'm a huge fan of Robert Kirkman, because he's the creator of the Walking Dead comics, and I absolutely love
Oh, I
them.
didn't know
But
that.
like, yeah, so I haven't read the comics. I think I need to.
I haven't
Um,
either. I didn't know when I watched it when it first dropped, and I watched the first episode. Like, I wonder how this is going to be, and I was like, "Holy crap!" It just like I didn't
yeah,
expect that, so it was really
yes,
good. And then I found out that it was based on a comic, and I was like, "Oh," because I came into it thinking it was just some original Amazon series. I had no idea that it was based off a comic. So I'm in the same boat. I kind of want to get the comics and see how accurate
hmm,
they are. I love Omni Man though. I know he's like
I
the
know.
bad guy, but I'm so
I know.
excited that
I
he's
was
gonna be in
like,
Mortal
okay,
Kombat. Did you
what's
know that?
happening?
He's gonna be in the Mortal Kombat game.
Oh, really? No,
And
I didn't know that.
and Homelander. They're both gonna be in it, and I'm like, "Oh, that's kinda cool."
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, I love it. You should watch the Adam Eve. I just watched it the other day because it just came out like a week ago, and it's interesting. I love getting backstory on all the characters. So if they do
Mhm.
this if they continue with the series and they do this with other characters too, I'll be interested in it. Even though him and his girl and then Omni Man are like probably the most interesting ones in the show, so they probably won't do it with other characters. But who knows? They're going to introduce new characters probably, so
Yeah.
we'll see. Yeah,
I
it's
didn't
great.
I didn't mind his girlfriend. I don't know what people were complaining about because I honestly like didn't read anything about it. Um, she came off like a little strong, but I mean, I didn't really care, you know.
Yeah, no, me neither. It could have
It,
been way worse.
yeah.
The show is actually better than the comic. You're not the first person I've heard say that, Mike.
Oh,
Even though
really?
they switched up the girlfriend and best friend. Oh, okay. Hmm. That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't know it either.
But let me find here. Everyone's gonna sigh right now. But listen, guys, we're gonna talk just a little bit because it's a hot topic right now about what's going on with Barbie. And don't worry, this isn't gonna be a praising stream. I think me and Steph both kind of agree as millennial girls. We found some parts of it funny. But there was a lot wrong with it. The
Oh
plot
yeah.
was there was some there was things that they could have changed to make it so much better.
Hmm.
But we're gonna kind of focus on why guys are so upset about the movie. That's what we were talking about last night in DMs. Then we're like, let's stream it. Let's
Yeah.
do it. And before we get into that, Wolfsbane, thank you for the $5. From what I remember, everyone got mad because Amber, Invincible's current girlfriend, knew about his identity for weeks and still complained when he went harrowing. Oh yeah, that's true. But at the same
Oh,
time, you gotta look at it as like, oh, my man's gonna die.
well,
Which is
that actually like kind of annoyed me because like if she knew that, you know, he was invincible, then how come she was like, "Where did you go? You left us here. You left." Like, and she knows that he's there fighting. So why is she making this big scene? And then she's like still angry because he lied to her about his secret identity and he didn't trust her or something. I thought it was something ridiculous to be upset about.
yeah, I met
Um,
Amber. Sorry, Mike. I said Adam Eve. I think some people might have. I don't know if people didn't like Adam Eve, but yeah, Amber. If anything, she was just a little bit annoying, but she was so like forgetful.
so
In
that
my,
that was
but you're
yeah,
right
that was
about that. Like where the heck did you go, you superhero? It's like Clark Kent and Lois Lane, and she knows. And then he just like flies into the window. She's like, "Where were you?"
uh-huh. He's like, "You're still mad?" It's like, "What?
Yeah,
Why are
girls.
you
Am I right?
still
I'm just kidding.
mad?" Like he is now
Why?
he's now trusting you with his identity. Like you have to be a little
Yeah,
understanding as to why he didn't tell you. It's not because he
yeah.
didn't trust you. It's because like maybe he couldn't tell you, you know, because it's a rule
For
or
safety
something. Like,
reasons and stuff too.
yeah,
Like you see that a lot. Look at what happened to Mary Jane in Spider-Man so many times. Look what happened
exactly.
to Gwen Stacy. Like it's just that's what yeah.
But
I just think about like
I thought
when
that could have been handled a little better. I kind of got a little
yeah,
annoyed that she
I
was
don't
still mad at him even after he showed her, and the fact that she was just like, "Yeah, I know. What do you think? I'm stupid. I've known for weeks." I was like, "Oh god, it's a little insufferable." But
yeah, so I mean she was SJW, Mike, you're right. Um but she was a forgetful character in my opinion. He needs to get with Adam Eve. Like
oh yeah,
obviously
he
that's
does
that's
absolutely.
that's yeah, that's who we need
I
to
like
be
that
together.
pairing.
Yeah, me too. They got good chemistry. Ian so far, thank you for the 50. I still haven't seen Barbie. Don't spoil it. Don't tell me that Life in Plastic is fantastic. Well, you know what? I mean, thank you for the pink super chat. The Barbie super chat. I'm really sorry to have to tell you this, Ian, but it's pretty plastic.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna basically just talk about why guys were upset about this movie and
Or at
a
least why
bit
we
of
think
toy
they're upset
yeah
about
why
it.
we think so and a little bit of toy history. It's not going to be like I said, both of us we didn't give it glowing reviews. We didn't absolutely think it was the worst movie of the year. Little Mermaid was to me. That's the one that I
Oh,
thought was the worst of the year.
that
I
was the
suffered.
worst of the year.
That's
Yeah.
what I think. So, but like, I won't rewatch it. I'm not praising the movie. I think Ryan Gosling was funny in it. Margot Robbie was gorgeous, and that's like the plus side for me. There's a couple silly throwaway lines, but the plot was if they would have taken away the real world stuff, it would have been better. They should have kept it in Barbie Land and changed it a bit. I know since, and this was something that the men were mad about, which we're going to get into, is like how the Kens were treated as an accessory. But in the real world, little girls do treat Ken as an accessory. Like me and Stephanie both had one Ken and like 10 Barbies. because
Yeah.
that's just how little girls think, and that's where they were going with it. But since they were doing a live action, and since they had Ryan Reynolds, or yeah, sorry, Ryan Gosling, I got Ryan Reynolds in mind because of Deadpool. Um, they could have done more. He did great. He had fun with it. You could tell he just had fun with it. But they should have made it a bit more equal. I do wish they would have ended up together in the end too, like main Ken and Barbie.
Yeah, that's I think that that's their biggest well, not their biggest, but I think that that's one major fault is that Barbie treated Ken like crap.
Yeah.
You know, like Barbie treated Ken like crap. So there's like a few things, okay? Like there's a few things. Like I think that a lot of people are saying that the movie is anti motherhood. Um because of the way like it starts. The little girls are playing with Barbie dolls, and then they see Barbie, and then they just completely like break their Barbie dolls and like saying like, oh, I don't want to be a mom. I hate this or whatever. And then um the mom is like later on talking about her life, about how she's just this boring mom. And I think that a lot of moms feel that way, once they have kids. Like I feel like they're a lot of times thinking like, I don't want to be this boring mom. That's why they try to interact with their kids a lot, but it's not that they're unhappy with their lives. It's just that they have like a different set of priorities. But at the beginning of the movie, it's interesting that a lot of people took that or like had that takeaway from that scene, because when I saw it, I thought of when Barbie was created. Like at the time that Barbie was created, little girls only had baby dolls to play with. Like those were their toys, baby dolls. Like you played with baby dolls up until you were like a teenager. Those were the only toys that were available to little girls. And then Barbie came along, and Barbie was kind of marketed to like the kids that were like, I don't know, 8 to 14 years old, kind of like Monster High dolls or Bratz dolls. They're created for the girls that are in that in between age where like you're not young enough to continue playing with these little baby dolls. So you want something different. And that's where Barbie kind of came in and filled that void in the little girl market. So the girls that are, trashing their dolls are like, hell yeah, like I don't want to play with this doll. I have, a grown-up doll that I can like dress up in different outfits. And it kind of like filled that void between that little girls didn't have. Like they were tired of playing with these Barbie dolls. And I think that like besides the not Barbie dolls, baby dolls, besides the baby dolls, what little girls had at that time were like these like sort of paper dolls. And like the paper dolls, you can like cut them out and like you could put like little clothes on them. That was it. Like that was for the girls that were like in that in between stage. They had like these paper dolls, and like you would dress them up in these like little clothes. So they knew that like
I remember seeing like videos of those.
yeah. So like so when Barbie came along, it was like you can't like do that representation of like the paper dolls, right? But we
No.
know that they played with baby dolls. So what are they going to do? Like, yeah, hell yeah, I don't want to play with this doll anymore. I want a Barbie doll. Like, give me this Barbie doll. So that's the takeaway that I took from
Yeah.
that scene. It was just like the creation of this Barbie doll was a game changer in little girls' toys, because it was. And I don't think that was like motherhood. I don't want to be a mom. Blah. I didn't take that at all.
Either.
I did not see that at all. What I saw was a little bit of like toy history being shared with the audience, because that's literally what that was. That is a representation of toy history. And when Barbie's creation, it literally changed the market in little girls' toys. I don't think a lot of people know that, but like that's
especially not guys, unless like you are into some guys are into toy history. That's fine if you know about Barbie. Like it's cool. I think toy history is really fascinating. History in general is. I took away that I know that that history too. But even if you remove that, as a little girl, I remember around 5 or 6, you get bored of the baby doll, and then you get your parents give you your first Barbie, and you're like, oh, I could dress her up. She could be this, she could be that, and I've even seen. I have a few nieces too who are now teenagers, and I watch them go from baby. They love their baby dolls when they're really little, but then once they get older and they like start getting more into like fashion and playing dress up and stuff, they want to dress up their Barbies, and that's. So yeah, it's just they were dramatic about it. I'll admit that they made, but it's a movie, and for dramatic effect, they had the little girls just like freak out instead of just tossing it. They like were smashing them and stuff, and it was just I think that was just for dramatic effect. So I don't think the movie was anti-motherhood. I think honestly with the mom and the daughter, they could have completely removed the exact scene, like with Will Ferrell. It didn't really, they could have removed it and just made it to where like they could have done a quick scene like Barbie's out and then like they end up going to the Barbie land and then they find like something like that,
Yeah.
and then maybe adding in, instead of her taking them right to Barbie land, I wish that Barbie could have spent a little bit more time in the real world, like brought back to the
With
house
them.
and
Yeah,
they played like Barbies
exactly.
together or something, and then like the little girl
Mhm.
watches Barbie playing Barbies with her mom, and she just like, something like that. They could have added something just to show her in the real world for
Yeah.
more than 5 minutes.
I think
Uh,
that's something interesting because like the whole departure from Barbie Land and when she goes into the real world, I think that like the majority of the movie should have taken place in Barbie Land. That's
mm,
how it was marketed. Like you saw that she went into the real world, but honestly, when I was watching it, I was really excited for the Barbie movie. I couldn't wait to go
so
and
was
see it.
I.
Um,
I was disappointed. It
but
wasn't
then
as good as I
like
thought.
people were seeing it and they were giving all of these takes and I was like, no freaking way is that what the movie's about, because I figured the majority of the movie was going to be in Barbie Land.
Yeah,
The bulk of the movie was going to be in Barbie Land, and it wasn't, and it was so disappointing because what they did
yeah.
in Barbie Land was so unique. It was so incredibly unique, and I was like smiling with like the way she, woke up in the morning and she took her shoes off and she still had, you know, she was walking on her toes.
Mm-hmm.
When she, when she would eat, she would just go like this. It was such a unique way to show how little girls play with their toys. The way she like got from her house to her car is how we played with our toys, because what does she do? We don't walk her down. Sometimes we would walk her down the stairs, but for the most part we take her from, from where she got dressed into her car, and she floats down, and you're almost like, dude, I'm like playing with Margot Robbie as Barbie right now. Like that's how I looked at it. The argument with Ken, I do not like that they did not make Ken Barbie's boyfriend, and that he was like
Mm-mm.
she was kind of like annoyed with him, like, okay, whatever, because all of the Barbies had their Kens.
Mm-hmm.
um and Ken was literally created to be Barbie's boyfriend. Like that is why he was created. And the fact that he wasn't her boyfriend in the movie, he would tell her like, we're boyfriend girlfriend, but she was just like, are we though? I didn't like the attitude that she had to Ken, and I think that that's a
No.
failure in the movie. They should have had. There's nothing wrong with Barbie having her companion, with Barbie being with Ken. There's absolutely nothing wrong, and I get it. They wanted to push this whole feminist agenda, and I think that they pushed it a little too far. Um, because like there's nothing wrong with Barbie being with Ken. Maybe at the end, if she decides to stay in the real world, like she could leave Ken behind in Barbie Land and just, let him know like, hey, I just want to go and do this, and have that same conversation. Um, but I think that she needed to be with Ken. Ryan
Mm-hmm.
Gosling was amazing. Absolutely
He was
amazing.
so
He
good. I
killed
love.
it.
I know Steph likes Grease too. So what did you think of the
Oh
Grease
man.
bathing suit? Like he had it down. He even had the pointed toes. Like his feet looked exactly like John Travolta's did. I was paying attention
Yeah.
because I grew up loving Grease. So within
Yeah.
that scene, I was like paying such close attention. It was so funny, and it just they really missed the mark. I said this in my review too, which is why I thought it was kind of crazy on Toxic Femme. Granted, there was a bunch of women on the panel, and it was kind of hard. Like points were got across, but like this is just me and Steph, so it's easier for us to bounce off of each other and talk about like how we feel, because we feel pretty much the same. We didn't think this movie was groundbreaking. I didn't think it was going to be, even when I seen it. I wanted more of the campy, make fun of itself, knows exactly what it is, which there was some of that, but there wasn't enough. But yeah, I agree. Ken carried the movie. Without,
Oh,
if
he
Ryan
carried it.
Gosling wasn't in this movie, and it was maybe they could have got someone else more talented, but it would have been even worse. I wish. So I
Yeah.
understand
He was
what they
very
went
likable
for.
as Ken.
Yeah, he was the perfect Ken, and some people were a
Yeah.
little like unsure when he first dropped in, like but I don't know, they missed the mark, but I don't, I feel like, the guys, I understand why guys are upset, because a lot of movies these days, guys are depicted in a bad light, and I get that, but the vibe they went for with this, and they could have done it, they could have executed it better, was that Ken is an accessory, because that's how little girls play with their dolls. Like I was telling Steph before we started, I said this on another stream, but when Ryan Gosling accepted the role, he sent Greta a picture of his daughter's Ken doll, which was face down in the mud next to like a lemon slice or something, and he was like,
Yeah.
I'll be your Ken. His story must be told, because little girls,
Yeah.
they don't care about Ken. It's not because they think like, oh, I don't care about men. They're little girls, like 5. So it's because Barbie is the main focus. Like I want to dress up Barbie. It's Barbie and girls day, girls night, and
Yeah.
all that
Like
stuff.
you literally took care of your Barbie, right? Like, okay, so when I had Barbies, I had like 15. I had so many Barbies and they all had all their different outfits. I would buy clothes for my Barbie and I had one Ken and it was literally Ryan Gosling's Ken. It was the beach Ken.
Yeah,
He came with a pair of board shorts. It was like the $5 Ken that Target sold. And you know, he came with his board shorts and like nothing else. And it was fine for me because I was just
yeah,
like, Ken is just her boyfriend. And I think that they showed that in the movie, but at the same time, they show that in the movie and I get it, like he's technically like her boyfriend. He was created not to be her accessory, but to be her boyfriend. Like that's why Ken was created, to be the boyfriend to Barbie. And I think that the fact that they treated him like an accessory was was a mistake. You know, like I think that a lot of people had a problem with, like, you know, people asking Barbie, or someone asking Barbie like, well, where does Ken sleep, you know, because you have your Barbie's dream house, where does Ken sleep? And she's like, I don't know. But it's funny because like when you played with your Barbies, you put your Barbie to sleep in the single bed that comes with the dream house, and then your Ken is on the floor, you know. So
yeah.
that's kind of like what they're depicting in Barbie Land. You know, she doesn't know where Ken sleeps because, you know, we put our Kens on the floor or in the toy box or, you know, somewhere in the room, and Barbie sleeps in her single bed in her dream house. And so she doesn't know where Ken goes at night. So I thought that that was pretty funny, that she doesn't know. But their mistake was that they made the Kens feel like crap because like Barbie kind of treats them like crap as opposed to treating them, you know,
Equals
like they
little.
should, like equals. What it should have been, okay? It shouldn't have been like this world of, like, you know, where women Barbies rule everything. I think that what it should have been was a kind of like a utopia where men and women are equal. We are happy
Mhm.
with our partners. We are happy with you know, my Barbie to your Ken, like, you know, and we kind of are like in this equal happy life. Nothing's wrong. Everybody's waking up, everybody's happy in, you know, Barbie Ken land, you know, in Barbie land or whatever. And then when Barbie goes to the real world, she kind of gets hit with, oh shit, maybe things aren't like that. I think that you know, not that like, oh, I'm going to go see over here because women, you know, do all the construction work, and I'm going to go over here because women do everything. Like, I don't think that that should have been the the whole takeaway. She should have gone to the real world and realized like, oh shoot, like things aren't happy go lucky, because in Barbie Land they had kind of have like the mind of a child where, you know, you tell your kid you can be anything, and you know, you have like this incredible optimism when you're younger. And that optimism kind of fades as you get older, because as you get older, you know, you have more responsibilities, more struggles. And but Barbie doesn't realize that because she's still technically in like the mind of, you know, a 10, 11-year-old who's playing with her. So when she goes into the real world, what it should have been was like that whole, you know, oh, people aren't optimistic here, people aren't, oh, they're actually having this real struggle. And that's when like
Mhm.
she meets the mom and the daughter, and yeah, maybe she goes to their house and sees how, you know,
Yeah, they should have
people
did that.
actually live, you know. And this whole thing of like the real world being this over
What
dramatic
the heck?
Beardo.
Excuse me. This is a feminine
What are you
space,
doing?
Beardo.
Shout out.
Stefan won't spell out of her chair. Hi,
I
Beardo. Nice
How
know.
many people are
haircut.
watching?
You got that.
101,000 people are here live in the Wicked
And
World Arena.
you just scared the
You
crap out of
scared the
all of them,
crap
and
out of
they
me.
left. Lock it
Shout
in.
out. What's up,
He said
Wicked?
that there was too much estrogen. He sensed it, so he had to come throw some
Yeah.
testosterone in the stream.
All right, have a good time.
My beard. Poor Steph. That scared me too.
Oh my god. I swear.
Beardo
I
is
do it to
no
him all the
lady.
time. So
Yeah. Good thing Steph didn't have a gun.
I know.
You should get like a little Nerf gun, so if he comes in and scares you, just like shoot him
I
with a
should.
Nerf gun.
I'll have like a Nerf gun
Um,
right here, or a water gun or something.
but
He's
yeah,
bearded Barbie, says
if-
Disbrew.
there he is.
He's
Oh
bearded
God,
Barbie. He's bearded Ken.
Is the Legion in here? Mike was already turned into a Barbie, and it was fabulous. I would buy them Epic Mike Barbie or Epic Meek Barbie. I'm sorry, that's what it was called. So we need a bearded Barbie. Get to it, guys. I know someone. Please do it.
But yeah, maybe she goes to the mom's house. We're trying to like get back on track.
I don't remember where we were.
Maybe she goes to the mom's house and like, you know, she sees, because she already met the girl, right? She already met the insufferable teenager. And maybe she gets to see why the teenager got to where she is, and she sort of learns a little bit. Because like, yeah, like the whole over exaggerated like misogynist world that she just stumbles into, where they're staring at her and a guy actually like slaps her butt. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Get out of here with that bullshit.
Like stuff like that happens sometimes, but it's very rare.
Yeah,
They went too hard with it. I mean, I'm sure I don't know, to be honest, and they said it in California. I don't know if two people walking around in like highlighter colors skating around would be laughed at. They'd probably be like,
I would honestly be like looking around like, are they filming? Where are the cameras? You know,
yeah,
like
right.
Nowadays I would be like, oh, they must be doing something for TikTok or for a skit or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Something for YouTube, you know, I would be looking around. I wouldn't be like pointing and laughing. That is so rare.
Yeah.
But and then when you like the whole executives in the boardroom with Will Ferrell, like I don't really like Will Ferrell too much, I'm not gonna lie. But the fact that like they had an option, right? They could have done something with this Barbie movie to inspire little girls, as opposed to, you know, showing them how fucking oppressed they are, and it's depressing for women, because you know they have all these different kinds of Barbies. They were shown in the movie. You know, we have so many different kinds of Barbies, and you had the option, you know, to show little girls that were probably maybe inspired by Dr. Barbie or whatever, like Judge Barbie. You know, you had the opportunity to show like maybe this girl was like inspired by Dr. Barbie and that's all she played with, and now she's a doctor, and you could have shown that, but you didn't. They did not do that. You know, you have veterinarian Barbie, gymnastics Barbie, teacher Barbie, coach Barbie. There's so many different Barbies, and they had the opportunity to show that and show how maybe little girls were inspired by these Barbies, and now they grew up to become doctors, vets, judges, whatever they wanted to be. But they didn't do that. Instead, they showed oppressed women, and like the patriarchy rules all. There was a chance to do like this great inspiring movie, and they totally and completely missed it. They completely missed the mark, because there are some girls out there who wanted to be a vet, and they bought the vet Barbie, and then they grew up to be a vet. You know what I mean? There are some cases where maybe Barbie did inspire some people, but they didn't do that. They didn't choose to do that. Instead, they chose to show how oppressed women are, and it was such a drag. It was such a missed opportunity.
It was a very mixed message too, because there's even people like this one. Do you know the Modern Girls YouTube page? Have you ever watched them? She like critiques outfits and stuff, and I like that. But she's a bit more on the feminist side, so some of her videos I check out from, but she didn't really like the Barbie movie, but for different reasons that people didn't. She thought that the message was mixed, and she's not wrong here. Where it's like, are you trying to be feminist? Are you trying to be satire? Like I still am unsure about it. I'm sure in certain like the parts with the little girl, like they are making fun of Gen Z with that, because she calls her a fascist, and it's like, do you know what that big word means, little girl? Like it's like she didn't even know little things like that. So I know that was making fun of it, but you're definitely right on that. They had such a great opportunity to inspire little girls, and they really missed the mark. And that's why it was so funny. And I had told Steph, I wish she could have been a Toxic Femme with us, because I know it really seemed like everyone was trying to hardcore defend it, but I didn't give this movie a good review. There were some parts that made me laugh. I'm not going to watch the movie again. I said in the beginning of my review that it missed the mark, because it did. I agree with Steph. But on Toxic Film, we all got attacked because we didn't hate it. That was my thing. I'm like, I didn't hate it, but it was not a great movie, and I won't watch it again. And people got so mad over that. And I'm like, I do get men being upset, but like if comparing this to like say the 2016 Ghostbusters, Barbie is a girl franchise.
Yeah,
Ghostbusters was not.
Exactly. I think that a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, this is Ghostbusters 2016 all over again. I absolutely disagree with that 100%. If anything, this is like they're taking one of our properties that, you know, a property that is made for girls and sort of like ruining it. You know, they're ruining it. It's kind of like, what are you doing with my property now? Because Ghostbusters was more of like a guy's thing, right? It was a brand geared, or it was an IP geared towards men. and they took that and they turned it into an IP for women, and they're not supposed to do that. Now, if they took Barbie and, you know, made a story all about Ken, or made a story, you know, turned Barbie into something else, and you know, made a story for men that like made a G.I. Joe story and like called it Barbie, then it would be Ghostbusters 2016, because you're taking a property that is technically geared towards women and turning it into something completely different and aiming it at a different audience. Like that's how you would do that. I don't think it's a new Ghostbusters 2016. Like not even close. I fucking hated what they did to Ghostbusters. I
didn't
hated
even watch
Ghostbusters
it. I couldn't.
2016. I thought it was terrible. I thought the jokes were stupid. The whole movie was insufferable. But this is something completely different. They're taking a girl's IP and they're trying to they used it to push a feminist agenda. I 100% believe that. And that's why I feel like they missed the mark, like, because they didn't want to show Barbie happy with like Ken. They didn't want to show that. Why? Because you should be able to stand on your own 2 feet.
Yeah, she had to be a strong, independent woman.
Yeah,
it's like, you can be a
exactly.
strong, independent woman and still have a man. You can have the best of both worlds, and they missed that mark. And ABC Cinema, is this true? So he's saying, weren't those 4 girls based on the Bratz dolls, and them hating on Barbie was supposed to be an Easter egg because the 2 brands compete? I didn't think like that. If they did it, that's kind of interesting. And Disparu just said this. I don't know. Were you talking about the little girl's fascist comment? Are you saying that because that that makes it laughable then if that was an actual like laughable and cringe, if that was for real.
Well, see, I actually took that. I didn't take that scene as satire at all.
No, you took it as for real
I
cringe.
did not take it as satire. I took that as, oh God, it's just an insufferable teenager, kind of like Scott Lang's teenage daughter in Ant-Man. You know, I was like,
God, yeah.
Dude, all of these teenagers, like they're stuck on TikTok. They don't know what they're fucking talking about. And, you know, they want to stand on their high horse and preach to people. Like that's what I took. I didn't take that as satire at all. I didn't think it was satire. I was like, this kid is actually being serious, and, you know, she's serious in her talking points. New. And a lot of her talking points were, you know, things that people are fed at TikTok. Like, you can just picture her going on TikTok and saying all of those things about Barbie.
Yeah, that's just like the freaking Beetle calling Batman fascist. You're right. It probably wasn't satire. I didn't think that part. I just thought that part was cringe either way. And that's the thing. If they had any parts of it that were satire, someone said this earlier that it requires wit. I feel like they didn't do it correctly. So that's why people are confused. It's like, was this a joke? Was this for real? Were you trying to be feminist? Of course there's feminist and woke parts in it. Absolutely. And even when I was excited for this movie, I knew there'd be some feminism thrown in there, because Barbie's a feminist icon. Granted, when she came out, feminism was needed because women, like, you know, the voting and women were oppressed, but now we're not. Third wave feminism is very toxic. It's not about equality anymore. It's about pushing men down.
It's about competition and being better. I don't think that it was satire. I think that, the reason I don't think it's satire is because of the marketing of this movie. It was marketed completely different, and they said that it was by design. Like, it was by design. They didn't points. They wanted to show like,
hello. Okay, we're here. We both froze.
Oh shoot.
We're okay. We're good.
Yeah. They didn't want to show like all of that feminist marketing, because it's marketed as, you know, this, you know, high bubbly like Barbie movie, which is what I thought it was going. I thought it was the majority of it was going to take place in Barbie Land. And
that's what they should have done.
You know, they should have done that. They should have kept it in Barbie Land and maybe like be in the real world just for a little bit. But the reason it was marketed like that was because they're taking this IP and they really are trying to take themselves way too seriously. They're trying to make this serious feminist movie.
That was what I really didn't want. When I seen the trailer, I was like, oh yay, this is going to be they know exactly what this is, and they're going to make fun of themselves. And that's why I think some people are so confused. Like I said, I didn't think this movie was funny. There was funny parts. I didn't think this movie was great. I didn't go into it thinking it was great. I actually went into it thinking like, I'm going to hate every single thing about this. But it had some silly parts. Yeah, it had some funny parts, but like I just feel like the guy's getting upset, as I do understand it. And listen, you guys are enough, and your opinions matter.
You're enough. Well, here's the thing. It's the movie did that. Like, if you're going in this and looking at, oh, this is a chick flick, you know, and I'm gonna take my boyfriend to see this movie. Okay, if you're going into a chick flick, huh?
No, so thank you, gaming. I had his super chat
Oh.
or his sticker up, and I kind of forgot that I had it up. Thank you for the $4.
If you're going into a chick flick, like let's say I'm gonna go and take my boyfriend to, I don't know, what's 10 things I hate about you, or no, not 10 things I hate
Legally
about. What's
Blonde.
Legally Blonde. Like if I'm going in there to see like Legally Blonde and I'm taking him in there, or what's that movie? I love this movie. What is it? How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. You
Oh,
know,
I
like
love that movie.
yeah, I love that movie. Freaking love that movie. Like How to Take right? That movie is not gonna make your boyfriend feel like shit when they're watching it. This movie, I feel like, would make him feel like shit if he's watching it, which is why I think that like one, some of the stuff like I don't think that they would understand because they've never played with Barbies, you know.
Mhm.
So, but I think that what should make them feel like crap is all the shit that happens in the real world. Like they should be like, dude, guys aren't like that. Dude, guys don't do that. Why are they treating Barbie like that? Like I kind of feel uncomfortable watching this movie
Mhm.
because they're making guys look like crap, you know?
Yeah.
Like that you shouldn't have to like say, "Oh, see, see, my life is worse than yours." It shouldn't be a competition between like a battle of
No.
the sexes when you're leaving the
Mm.
movie theater. And that's why I feel like they did such a disservice to Ken when they didn't pair him with Barbie and they made Barbie treat him like crap. But yeah, I think that like when you're going to if it's a chick flick, if you're dragging your boyfriend to see this movie, he shouldn't walk out of it feeling like crap. You know,
No.
and I think that like a lot of guys do walk out of it feeling like crap. And I don't think that it's at the fault of all the stuff that happened in Barbie Land, because all of that is just based on how little girls play with their toys. But it's because of all the real world stuff where they
Yeah.
picture guys like, and you know, and make them appear like they're super incredibly misogynistic. So
Mike. Okay, hello. If Steph's done a Wicked Shoulders, they would be a regular sized human. You know what? And we're okay with that, Mike. Hi, Mike. And thank you, War Machine, for becoming a member.
yeah.
Let me. Here we go. Where is it? Sorry, I'm like terrible at this. Thank you.
Damn, Rufio.
I know when you did that, I was like, yes. When you did the Rufio, for the what was it? I forgot what it was.
Oh, I
It was
forgot
something
too.
you shared something and you probably Peter Pan and Wendy, which was oh god. But yeah,
Yeah.
I feel the same way. Like guys, you don't come out of this like feeling like crap. And if some women loved the movie and that's fine. Some hated it. That's fine too. I'm very in the middle where there were scenes that were okay, but the overall plot and message was just not. I don't even know what the message was because it's so mixed. And
I
I
feel
just
like
think guys should look
yeah.
at this like this is a movie about a girl's toy. We don't understand about a girl's toy and just like it's getting so much attention because all these guys are upset about it. And I just look at it like, you know what? Don't dive into it and drive yourself crazy. Just look at it like, okay, this is a chick flick about a little girl's toy and just like leave it at that because you're giving them attention that you probably don't want them to get because you hated the movie. That's how I look at it. This movie has got it's like the great debate of our time right now, and it's insane because it's a Barbie movie. Like I'm just like, like it's not. I looked at it as it's not that deep, but I agree so much with stuff that they had a chance to really relay some beautiful message for young girls and even young boys too. Like in Barbie Land, they should have made Ken and Barbie in love. He still could have been like a kind of like beach
like he
dude, like
still could have been
dork,
like, I don't
but
know where he sleeps at night, you know, because he goes off.
yeah.
But they should have been like boyfriend girlfriend. When that scene where he was like, "Can I sleep over?" and she's like, "And do what?" I have no idea.
I know
Like
that was
I
so
thought that was so funny because like
yeah.
that's how you play with the Barbies, you know, like when we're like we don't know what to do with them other than like smash them together so they can kiss, you know, but Ken always leaves. He doesn't stay over. So
Yeah,
I thought that was funny.
exactly. Maybe a troll, but I thought it was accidentally based. And that's another thing. People who are actually, from some of what I'm seeing, that like actual feminists are upset because if you really think about the ending, that's why I don't know what message they were really trying to convey here.
It's all
She
over the
leaves
place.
perfect matriarchy Barbie land ran by women to go to what they depicted as the terrible real world that's ran by men. And she decided she'd rather go there. And that's not, I'm not saying that's like, I don't know what the message is. So I
Exactly. See,
took
I
the
feel
funny
like if
parts
they
for what they
yeah.
were, and then that was just it.
Like I feel like if they had
No.
done it differently. I know, right? Jesus. I feel like if they had done it differently, if they had shown Barbie, like, you know, these are the struggles, but you know, we get through it, we rise above it, and everything is is okay. We still like our lives, and yeah, things are hard here, but we're still happy. We still find happiness in things. If they have to have like the fucking executive scene, then whatever. Show a woman on there. Like, a woman ran Mattel for 30 years.
There's probably still more women on
There
the
are
board
women
now
that run
than
in Mattel. Yeah, there are
yeah.
women that run Mattel. And and like they could have shown her that, like, things are like, they might not be as, as like as happy and go lucky and optimistic as Barbie Land, but like there's a struggle here, but you can still find some happiness in that struggle. And in that, I would say that would be like very tempting to Barbie, but like it doesn't make any sense. From the moment she's getting there, she says like, oh my gosh, I feel like a sense of violence from all of these people that are looking at me. Why would you want to live there? Why would you want to go back? I would be running back to Barbie Land.
I mean, I
She
wouldn't
gets
mind living in
arrested. She
Barbie
gets
Land.
arrested twice. And then like you get the sense that like she feels like, I don't want these men. When they're trying to put her in the box, like, she kind of, you get the
What
sense
was
like,
gonna happen?
oh my gosh, I'm becoming captive to these men, right?
Yeah.
And so like, why would you want to go back there? That's why I think that there is more that like she could have experienced through the mom and the little daughter. She could have even, Barbie could have even, like, let's say the mom hadn't thrown away all of the Barbies or given them all away and had them like in the attic or something. There could have been the scene where like she brought them down to Barbie and Barbie's like, oh my gosh, this is so and so. Oh look, here's Alan. Alan's pretty cool. Fucking Alan, dude. That made me laugh so much.
Especially when he's like, Allens have escaped before. In sync, all of them. That was funny. They're all Allens. King of Diet Coke, thank you for becoming a member.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. And he gifted 5 subs.
Nice.
Here, sorry, real quick. Let me just do this.
Groovy.
Thank you. Yeah, but I feel like that was such a missed opportunity, not having her and play with the Barbies or show Barbie Barbies. But yeah, Alan, and that's the thing for some of us girls that enjoyed some parts of the film. We didn't enjoy the actual film, but like, the silly parts, like Alan and Ken stole the show.
They really did, yeah.
And Mike made this point. He's like, I'm not trying to rewrite movies, but he had said that they should have made Alan the villain, but like in a silly way where he was so tired of being second to Ken and he tries to like create some kind of like uproars or I don't know, take over Barbie Land in some way. Like they come back like Ken and Barbie. Ken also wasn't, if they were gonna do the real world stuff, he wasn't in there very long. They come back.
It took him like
and they're
10 minutes to get
I know.
tempted.
And they're like enlightened, right? And they come back to Barbie Land and Alan has taken over and he's like, yeah, like I'm the new Ken or something. Like that would have been a bit more silly. But I do wish they would have kept it in Barbie Land. And if she did a real world thing, it could have been something like, she had to go do something because Mattel was like ruining the Barbie brand or something. They should have made, now Mattel wouldn't have signed off on this. I'm surprised they signed off on the all male board because
they really did sign off on this movie because like it's such a mixed bag. Like I just don't know. Like what are they trying to, what kind of a message are you trying to send? Like, if anything, this just created a battle of the sexes, and that's not what you want to do with Barbie. That's not what you want to do. You want to leave the movie theater. And I think that like a lot of women did leave the movie theater. Like they cried at certain parts. But when I was watching this, I was like, I just don't get it. Like, what are you trying to tell me right now? I don't get it. Like there's the whole part where she goes to like the void space with the creator of Barbie. And like, she's like, okay, I'm going to have you feel now. It's like, wait, so she wasn't feeling before? So like that was like really weird. And she has like all of these memories of, moms and daughters and girls playing and stuff like that. And she's like, yeah, I want that. But it didn't make sense given what she went through and what she experienced. It was so freaking weird. And then the whole part where like America Ferrera had to like talk these women out of being
brainwashed. And they also didn't show that. Did Ken just come and go, listen, you're not a president anymore, you're not a judge anymore, I'm gonna take control, just get me a beer and put on a maid outfit? And they're like, okay, like what the heck, how did he do it?
How did he do it? Like, exactly. I want to know, how did he do it? That whole thing about how let me tell you how shitty my life is, and wake you up from your brainwash.
Yeah,
I
I
thought
thought
that
that
was
was.
so freaking weird.
Mhm.
I honestly expected and kind of wanted this movie to be like Barbie's Dream House. Like, it's a Netflix show that I absolutely love. It's so cute.
You're not the first person to say that. I actually haven't seen that one because I haven't really seen the Barbie cartoons. I've seen Nutcracker, and everyone loves the Nutcracker
Oh
one.
yeah,
But
I
you're
love
not
the
the
Barbie
first to
cartoon.
say the Dreamhouse one, that they should have just made that live action.
Yeah, they really should have, because that show is like really cute, and you have all of the like all the Barbies there, and it's the same thing. And they go through like little adventures, and you have like this one Barbie, you have the Barbie twins. I think it's like Raquel and Ryan, and they're the ones that Ryan's always fighting with Ken, because Ken is Barbie's boyfriend, but Ryan wants to be with Barbie. And then you have Raquel, who's trying to like be the new Barbie and be the popular one, so like they're always getting into like little battles or whatever. And I think that if they had done something like that, like made it really silly, then that would have been cool, because I loved a lot of the stuff that they had in Barbie Land. They should have expanded on that.
You could
They
see the
didn't.
potential, and that's what makes it like.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I totally understand why people hated it. I just think that certain things are a bit people are, I guess, being a little bit extra about it. And what I want to say, like I said this already to the guys, is to just look at it as a movie about a little girl's doll. It's not an accurate representation on how most women treat their men. That's definitely not it. And stop. You're just giving them more power and more promotion with all the angry messages and stuff. It's gonna die down, but I do find it hilarious that Barbie is like the great debate of our time. Like, I think it'll die down within like a week, but I don't know.
When a
I
movie
didn't
like
expect
Oppenheimer
that.
came out the same
I
day,
know.
like
Well, but
seriously.
they're mad that there wasn't any race swaps. That's just the weirdos, not real like normal people.
Yeah.
Um,
That's the conversation around Oppenheimer. There aren't enough black people and women are their boobs were out. Like, seriously, that's what you're taking away from Oppenheimer. Get out of here.
yeah, that's it. But it's the same thing. Like, people would have been. I mean, I don't know if people would have been mad if they made Cleopatra historically accurate. But they sure made Egypt mad, which is rightfully so, because that's a piece of their history.
Mhm.
That they're just, I'm just gonna rewrite it because, oh, who cares? It's just a story to me. Like, no, it's history. You could take, and I hate when they do this to, like what they do to Star Wars and Ghostbusters, for example. But that wasn't history. It's still very annoying, and they could just leave it alone. Start being creative and make some new stuff. And that was another thing, real quick, before we get off the Barbie topic, that I want to take away from that is like, if you're gonna make something girly and feminist, it should be something like Barbie. Leave the old IPs alone.
Yeah.
I agree with it. I don't like feminism is extremely toxic, and I
Mhm.
I feel about that. But yeah, that's the way that they just want to rewrite history now is ridiculous.
It's awful.
Action movie. I don't plan on it. I have zero interest. I just don't. I don't get these people, man. They're so weird. They're just so weird. I never thought. Oh, sorry. Oh, wait. Oh, skip. I never thought about it, but Oppenheimer probably does need more boobs.
You see a lot of boob in Oppenheimer. It's just one set, but it's a set of good boobs. I will say
At
that.
least they're good. I will say that. Oppenheimer, I've killed everyone. Twitter, shut up, white boy.
I know.
He said, Killian said that if they did a second Barbie movie, that he would play Ken.
Oh, really?
He did, but it's like the Barbenheimer meme. Like, he's like, I'll just lean into it and get
Yeah.
paid. Impressive for being small. I can lie. Is it Florence Pugh? It's Florence, isn't it? But we won't ruin it for anybody. No spoilers. I do want to see it. I will see it soon. It's a long one, so. Poor Queen Anne Boleyn gets beheaded, then has to be race swapped, so her legacy is taken from her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, now look at now the dirty birdies are all out.
Oh, what would I
Did you
rate the
move out of
boobs out of
10?
10? Oh, they were nice. 7. Nice little 7 out of 10. Perky. Yeah.
Turkey. You didn't need to sell me on Oppenheimer. You had me at boobs. I think so. Barbie is probably going to make more, and that doesn't mean like, oh God, like the world's over. It's just because it was marketed towards women, and if this shows anything, it's that women are. Michelle, Force of Light, brought this up, and she made a really good point. Whether the movie was good or not, the marketing that was supposed to just show us that it was going to be this silly, fun, girly movie. That's why all the women showed up in droves. They all dressed up in pink because women are hungry for feminine movies, because women are just
Yeah.
being effeminized in movies these days, and it's becoming more like androgynous, I guess, or they're just not girly, and there's still very girly feminine women that want to see that in movies.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's
Well,
something that shows from the Barbie movie.
absolutely. Absolutely. Like women inherently want to be girly and they want to
Mhm,
embrace that side of them. I think that a lot of romantic comedies do very well because women go and see them. I
mhm.
mean, like, you know, look at all of the fucking, well, look at 50 Shades of Grey. Like that shit did numbers because women came
My
out in
best friend
droves.
made me go see that. I was like, "Come on."
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen worse, but she was one of
Magic
those girls.
is another one. Like Magic Mike did
Oh,
numbers
yeah.
because women went out there, like women have money and they want to spend it, and like
Mhm.
they aren't making movies. I think that what the way this was marketed was completely and 100% like to lure in women and then give them a lesson on feminism, because like I think me going in to see this, I with based on the marketing, I thought that it was going to be like this fun, bubbly, cute Barbie movie, and I wasn't expecting a lesson in feminism, but whatever.
A
I got
mixed
one.
message at that. They did a
Yeah.
terrible job delivering it.
Terrible mixed feminist message.
Yeah.
But like, women always go and, we want to see those romantic comedies, and they don't make them anymore, which is a shame. They don't make them anymore because, you can stand on your own 2 feet. It's
Sorry,
annoying.
Charlie says Barbie should make men uncomfortable, like the feminine hygiene aisle in the store.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, some guys are so it's really funny how clueless some guys are when it comes to that stuff. Like, I think there was like a meme, or like a video where a guy called his girlfriend and was like, "What size are you?" Like just stuff
Oh
like
my
that.
God.
And like, did you see the memes where like she acted like they were flavors? Like, can you get me the lemon one? And he's like,
No.
they're flavors. What do you? How do you taste it? And she goes into the bloodstream. He's like, she's like, get me lemon. And he comes back with the yellow one. She's like, I think I want kiwi. And he's like, and he comes back with a green one. Poor guys. We don't want to know exactly. Don't ask questions.
That's so
Dirty.
funny.
Oh, I love Dirty Dancing. It was
Yes.
and it was, yeah. And that they had such
Mhm.
a low budget for that film too. And it
Yeah.
ended up being such a success. But yeah, exactly.
I mean, shit, look at Greece. They weren't
Yeah,
expecting Greece to
right.
be the phenomenon that it was, and it was a huge thing.
No, and so I have an unpopular opinion. I didn't actually hate Grease 2, but you know what? It was just because Michelle Pfeiffer's Cool
Oh,
Rider.
dude. Yeah.
That was
I
Cool
loved
Rider is a great
uh-huh.
great little
I
dance
don't hate
number.
Grease 2. I don't hate
Mm-mm.
Grease 2 at all.
Some
Um,
people do, but I'm like, I was big on
what is
Grease.
his
Like, I was a
name?
weird kid. I had a crush on Danny when I was like 7, and I look back now and I was like, what's wrong with me?
Dude, I love Danny. I loved him so
Yeah.
much. If I had a boy, I would name him Daniel.
Aw. Yeah.
Because like in my mind, I was like, yeah, I want little girls to call him Danny.
Mm-hmm.
That's so stupid.
See, look
But no,
at
I
we're
like
girls.
Grease
We like girly
too. The
stuff.
guy that played Michael was hot.
Yeah, was he Australian? He was Australian. Yeah, he was Sandy's little
Hmm.
brother. Yeah, he was really hot.
Yeah, her cousin. It was her cousin.
Oh, her cousin. That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
it
So
was great. Okay, I know, boys, you're probably just bored to tears of all this feminine talk. So let's all get angry together. We have another like kind of girly topic, but it's Snow White. But it's fine. We can all get angry together on this one though.
ugh.
Um,
Snow White is brown now.
yeah, she's gonna no longer white as snow. Now this, I'm getting tired of studios doing this. Like this hasn't even come out yet, but they're
Mm-mm.
greenlit for a second movie, a sequel, and a Paramount Plus series. I think it's gonna do terrible. I don't like the animation. It's not the worst, but I'm not feeling it. I can't stand Seth Rogen. And just what they did to April, it's not. I know there was this big argument about the skin color, and it's not about that. It's about that they make her look so dumpy. It's like
Yeah.
April's supposed to be pretty. They could have made her black, whatever, but why does she look like that?
Yeah.
She looks like a bowling ball or something. Like she's just
She looks terrible.
she looks terrible. They made her look so bad. Snow White looks like an Egyptian. That's good. We'll save that for last. I mean, maybe. But yeah,
I don't like
why do they
I'm with you.
this?
I don't like the animation style. I think it looks terrible. Splinter looks ridiculous. I think that I don't like this animation style. I think that they should have stuck with the animation from the Ninja Turtle cartoon from like, I think it's like 2002, somewhere around there. I love that animation style. I thought it was great. And even like the television show, it looked great. When they switched it over like to the Michael Bay Ninja Turtles, it looked terrible. But the one before the Michael Bay Ninja Turtles looks great. This animation looks like shit.
It looks
It
like
looks
really
terrible.
bad
Like
claymation.
look at Raphael. Yes, it looks like terrible claymation. That is exactly what it looks like. Like look at Raphael. Like look at his legs. Like he skipped leg day. His body is way too big for his legs. It looks so stupid. All of their eyes look ridiculous. And if you look at the toys, oh my god, they're the worst.
You posted it on
I
Instagram.
posted it on
I was
Instagram.
like, what? Hold on, I'm gonna look for it.
I posted on Instagram. They are the worst toys I have ever seen. And what's more embarrassing is that they relaunched like the original Ninja Turtle toys from like, I think like the 80s and 90s. And those toys look amazing. They look so great with all of like the muscle definition. And these toys look fucking stupid and cheap. Like, what is
ridiculous?
Look at her lip. Like, what happened? Look at this.
This looks like a little kid made it with their Play-Doh.
Yeah. Like, look at those eyes. It looks ridiculous.
He's not even symmetrical. His eyes are over there.
His eyes are over here and his mouth is over here. Like, those toys look so ugly and cheap. It looks terrible. Disgusting. It looks awful.
And they need to just leave. I don't know who thought, because the Santa Inc. It couldn't have done well. I didn't watch it. I had no interest in watching it. But I know there's no way that it did so well. They're like, give this man a whole franchise.
Well, no, I think he already had it. Like it was already in process before Santa Inc. Like that was already a thing. Like Santa Inc. was coming out, and then like I think they announced it because of the bad press that he was getting from Santa Inc. But he was already attached to this project. And it's going to be terrible. Honestly, I think like a lot of people are sort of like giving Jackie Chan the benefit of the doubt as Splinter. I don't like that. I don't like Jackie Chan as Splinter.
Doesn't fit.
He doesn't fit, but also like as a voice actor, like as an actor, like in the movies, seeing him in person, he does really well because he like, is expressive and uses his body and all of that. But as a voice actor, he doesn't have like that range. And you kind of see that with Kung Fu Panda. Like he plays Monkey and he doesn't get a lot of lines as Monkey because he can't really like, voice act, but like they gave him, he plays Monkey. And here I feel like he's going to have a lot more lines and it's going to be so flat. It was already flat from like the previews or from the trailer. I was like, oh man, it sounds so awful. Like it's just very flat voice acting.
Yeah, and with Splinter, maybe this is like the 90s kids in me because I liked the 90s movies, the Ninja Turtle movies, the live action, I guess. Splinter had more of like that raspy voice, and I don't think
like
Jackie Chan's gonna
old man voice.
Yeah, he's not gonna they're Tara makes a point. Jackie Chan is from Hong Kong, Splinter's from Japan. What the freak? Yeah. Good point. I mean,
they were just look, Asian.
Exactly. Like, okay, I guess that's all right. But it's just upsetting. I wish they would leave stuff alone. If this does well, good. I mean, if it's not terrible, but it just seems like when you see something like Barbie, we knew there'd be some kind of feminism in it, but they didn't market it like it was going to be like that, like what it was, and it ended up being that. They're throwing it right in your face in the trailers that it is woke as heck with April. And again, Seth Rogen, I'm not going to trust him. He was I loved the Mario movie and he didn't ruin it for me, but Donkey Kong should have been like Patrick Warburton or John Goodman or somebody like that. I did not. I can't stand his laugh.
I know. He should have at the very least like changed his voice up a little. It was just
like Jack Black. He crushed it as Bowser's. Like you wouldn't even have known that was Jack Black if you.
Like he should have changed his voice up, but no, he just went in there and did his Seth Rogen, like just talked like him. His stupid laugh that is so fucking annoying. I can't stand it. He does his laugh with everything that he's in. It's like it's not cute. Like I don't know if he thinks like it's cute or if he thinks like
his mom probably told him it was cute.
Signature laugh or something like that, but it's annoying. His laugh is annoying.
It is. And that's what they're talking about. And Donkey Kong is actually my favorite Nintendo IP. I guess that's the way to put it. I love Mario and stuff, but Donkey Kong is my favorite. I love Donkey Kong, all the games. And so they're talking about making a Donkey Kong movie. It's like in talks. I'm not surprised because of how well the Super Mario Bros. Movie did, but I'm like, a whole movie of Seth Rogen. Like I'll go see it because I love Donkey Kong, but I just wish so much that they would have casted somebody better. Like Patrick Warburton, I think would have been great. He wouldn't even have to change his voice. I think that
Yeah.
would have just been a good fit. Or even John Goodman, some deeper, jolly, like he's kind of jolly. Like John Goodman's like a jolly, chunky man. Someone like that. I just but yeah, I don't know why nobody asked for this. I
No,
don't
it's
know how
gonna
it's
be
gonna.
terrible. I already don't like the trailers. I don't like what I'm seeing. The fact that Splinter like hates humans, he's very anti-human. He teaches his kids to hate humans. Like, then why are you protecting them? Like, it's a very mixed message. I don't like it. And the way that they changed April O'Neil and the fact that people are saying like, oh well, she's black in the comics, and look at this, see, she was created and based off of his black girlfriend or something like that. I can't remember, but I'm just like, dude, stop. Like, you're reaching, you just need to stop right now. If you want to make her black, then whatever. People are going to get upset. I fucking get upset. I don't want her to be black. I want her to be like she is either in the old comic or in based off the cartoon. I would get upset. I'm upset that they, race swapped another character, another redheaded character. Like, they race swapped another redheaded character. It's freaking annoying. It needs to stop happening. And if you're going to do that, if you're going to race swap her, like, why can't she be pretty? Why can't April be pretty? There's nothing wrong with being pretty. Instead, they made her a black character and an ugly black character. And it's like, what are you doing? Why are you making her all frumpy looking and gross? Why are you showing a black character as an ugly character? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Why can't the black character be pretty? At the very least, Halle Bailey was, race swapped as a Little Mermaid, but she's not bad looking. She's a pretty girl. Why can't you make April be pretty too? There's nothing wrong with that. Instead, she has to look like, she's about to go to a protest. It looks ridiculous.
It is, and I'm so tired of them doing this. It makes me really upset that it's before it even drops, before anyone gets a chance to review it, it's getting greenlit for a sequel and a series. Like they just expected to do so well. They did the same thing with The Last of Us, right? Before it even dropped, they already had it renewed for a second season, which I'm a big fan of the first Last of Us game, not the second one. Gingers. It's so funny because that used to be like a joke. People made a joke about like, oh, they're swapping the gingers. Then it's like you see it
just keeps
right
happening
in front of you.
All
like when the people made that whole big post of all the like ginger swaps that actually happened. It's like, whoa, that's actually a lot. What the heck?
Yeah, it's already like a minority of people, right? Redheaded people. And now they're just being erased completely. So it's just sad. It looks like you reached 2K subs.
Oh, I did. Thank you guys. Here, let's put something cool up for you guys. I gotta do something different. Let's do this one. Thank you guys so much.
Sure, I could have stayed in the past. Could have even been king. But in my own way, I am king. Hail to the king, baby.
You guys get an ash kiss and you're all kings.
Yeah.
Thank you. I gotta get some more little clips. I'm still working on it.
We need to add clips. All I have are like Ben Affleck's Batman. I need to add more.
I just got
some. I actually have some prequel clips too, with like Anakin.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, I gotta get some more. I'll work on it. I also gotta be careful because you don't know what you can put and can't put.
I know.
Redhead's like 2% of the population.
Yeah, they're already a minority, and you're erasing them from cinema. It's like, what are you doing? Stop it. I have a theory about like why they chose redheads, and I'll tell you when the stream's over. But
okay, yeah, but that's private talk, guys. Sorry, they're like, no, we want to know. Well, let's get the Snow White stuff out of the way. Then we have something cool to end with. And if you gotta go at any point before, like we're almost done. We only have a few more things to talk about, but I'm it's really funny because I know she's Latino. I made the joke though, like when Disney was doing all this stuff, like, oh, just wait, next they're gonna make Snow White black and not black, but you know, uh, yeah. And it's not. I don't think this girl is unattractive, but when you put her next to Gal Gadot, and you're gonna tell me that Gal Gadot is supposed to be jealous,
I
like
know. They have
she's beautiful,
Gal
just like Margot
Gadot.
Robbie.
Yeah,
they're
they
both
have to
they're
make her look
beautiful.
gross. Like you have to
They're
really
gonna,
try to make
yeah,
Gal
really push
Gadot.
it.
Gal Gadot look ugly. Like the mirror is gonna be lying to her in the movie.
Are you
The mirror's
okay,
gonna be
Hokies?
lying.
You gifted 5 Lamborghinis. Thank you for gifting 5. Thank you for gifting 5 memberships, Ian. Here you go. You can have bruh.
Bruh.
Thank you. And thank you, thank you, Tonberry Masta, for the 50. Gotta go, but have a great night, ladies. Well, thank you so
Yeah.
much. But yeah, I remember making this joke a while ago, and this was before I was really deep into the online stuff. You know, before we get into this like online stuff, when we just used to watch stuff, we didn't really critique it quite as much. But I started seeing it like probably around Star Wars time. I feel like that's when it woke up a lot of people like us, where it was like, what the heck are they doing? Disney's doing stuff. Like I have a friend who she's younger, she's Gen Z, and her boyfriend just recently got her into Star Wars. So she's within the past like 2 years watched from start to finish, never seen any of them, and she knew I was a Star Wars fan. And she's like, the Disney Star Wars is like, no offense, because she didn't know how my stance was on it. She's like, but the Disney Star Wars isn't good. I'm like, I'm not offended. I agree with you. You're a normal person that sees that it's terrible. And she's like, oh, thank God. And it was so cute. Like when she liked The Mandalorian, and then she seen me post something about when Gina got fired, and she's like, what happened? I loved that character. And I told her everything. And she's like, people are so mean. Like she's just nice, and she was so mad about it. And there's a lot more normal people. We just happen to find the weirdos. Like I see like Anna, if she sneezes wrong, she gets 100 people just like bugging out, and then she'll get like 1K more subs. So it's like it works in her favor. But people are just so strange on the internet. Yeah. You think that me and Steph are hotter than Gal? Thank you, Hokies.
Aww.
But they're really gonna have to make her.
They are. They're gonna have to work to make her ugly.
If I was the I'd be like, hey, how you doing?
How you doing? Exactly. Like Gal Gadot is beautiful. She's freaking gorgeous. And I'm sorry. Like,
oh no, Hokies is getting roasted. I would like a separate section remember because oh my God. Wiley Dave gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much. Here, you get a Buffy.
If the apocalypse comes, beat me.
Beat me.
Beat me. I love Buffy. Thank you so much. You guys are so sweet tonight. It's because we got this great feminine energy right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Gal is gorgeous. Okay, she's a freaking model, and I'm not coming at this girl. This girl's pretty. Rachel Zegler. She's not an ugly girl, but she's not prettier than Gal Gadot.
No,
like,
she's not prettier than Gal.
Did you see Mirror Mirror with Lily Collins and Julia Roberts?
It sounds familiar. Hold on, let me.
It was good. It was a if you didn't see it, I suggest it. It was fun, and Lily Collins is actually really pretty, and so is Julia Roberts. But I think that especially because they went with like Julia Roberts, who's a bit older, she was still pretty because the Queen is still supposed to be pretty. Lily Collins is a little bit prettier, and she embodied the Snow White look so well. And I'm like, how do you go from that to this? Like she had skin white as snow. Like me and Steph are probably too dark to be Snow White. Like we're tan. Like I know I don't look it right now, but since I've been in Florida, I'm darker.
Oh, I know this movie.
Did you see it? If you didn't,
I haven't seen it.
Out.
I haven't seen it, but I will. But no, yeah, that is Snow White.
You see how pretty she is? She's gorgeous. Yeah, Phil Collins' daughter, keyboard. Poor, he's always Hokies. We still love you, okay? Thank you, Shaq. We're getting so much love. I ain't above Stephen. Thank you. You could be Mando. Like Mando, poor Mando can't even tan. Like she's one of those poor girls that like if she gets sunburn, when the sunburn goes away, it's just back to white. Poor Mando. But so that was my biggest thing with this. When I found out that they were making Gal, not my biggest thing. There's a lot of other problems, like the 7 men But this is ridiculous that they're changing the meaning of fairs to them all. She's not gonna, let me just skip through the little part where they talk. I guess this happened a while ago, but
Oh,
she
it did, yeah.
says, I didn't hear about it, which I'm surprised, but she says the reality is the cartoon was made 85 years ago, and therefore it's extremely dated when it comes to the ideas of women being in roles and power and what a woman is fit for in the world. Let's just skip. She says, Gal Gadot added that the fact that she's not going to be saved by the prince and she's the proactive one and she's the one who sets terms and makes it so relevant to where we are today, then just make something
new
new
movie.
and make a new movie, because
Make a
this
new
is
movie.
like, there's nothing wrong with the princess getting saved, but there's also nothing wrong with the princess doing the saving. I mean, they had Snow White and the Huntsman, right? And that was
Yeah.
more of a girl boss Snow White, I guess. Yeah, remade for modern audiences. I'm so tired of that. People need to get on them. Even these people that are excited for these, get on them about being so lazy. Disney, go back to your animation department. Give us some more animated movies. You've been so lazy with that. You're just remaking like the Little Mermaid and stuff, and they make it so he's just Jonathan. He's not even the prince in this. I read
He's
an
not a
article about that.
prince?
I read an article about that. I could be wrong. I guess we'll see when the movie comes out. But I read that he's just Jonathan. And
Well,
they did the
that's
same thing to Eric in Little Mermaid. He was a prince, but he was adopted. He
he was
washed up in the
adopted.
store.
They
Yeah,
had
he
to
washed up.
they had to bring him down a peg. Like, he's not born into
Yeah.
royalty. You're actually saved by this family that adopted you. Otherwise, you would have died. Like, you died or you could have died in a shipwreck. But we
saved
looked at you and thought, I'm gonna save this poor boy, and now he's a prince, and so that way he could be grateful for what he has, as opposed to like being born into it. Like, they had to take him down a peg, and I think that's what they're doing with all of the princes, and it's really sad that they're doing that, because there's nothing wrong with men in power. Okay, that's how it is in like these fairy tales that you're telling. They're men in powerful position, they're princes, and they're looking for their princesses, and there's nothing wrong with that. Even in like oh my gosh, what am I thinking of? Like in The Little Mermaid, Prince Eric, like he wants to find his princess. Like he's going through it. Like he has this talk with Grimsby on the boat, and he's like, "You're not upset because I didn't fall for the princess of something. I can't remember.
Flowery Haven or something.
Yeah,
like
so
that.
like he's looking for his bride. He wants to be in love, and he's like, it'll just hit me like a bolt of lightning. Like, he's looking for his bride. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, it's a man looking for his partner in life. And he just
Not a bad
happens to be a
message.
prince. He just happens to be a prince. He wants his partner in life. He wants to fall in love. And he meets, someone who also wants those things. They want to fall in love. They want to find their other half, their soulmate. And there's nothing wrong with that. But they want to take all of that down and just show, like, you're women, you don't need a man. You're like, powerful on your own. You can do whatever you want. And while all of that is true, women are still looking for, their partner in life. At the time, you can do that and have like these strong moral values, but you can also have, your partner in life and support them too. Like, there's nothing wrong with a couple supporting each other, and
It's like they're
trying to get rid of
afraid
that.
to show like a healthy relationship. There was nothing really I know some of the relationships real quick. Thank you, War Machine, for the gifted subs.
Rufia.
I will forget. Yeah, Princess Bride does it right. It's silly and campy, but they have to act like if a woman's getting saved, that she's not strong. Like an example is Aladdin and Jasmine, right? She's actually pretty strong. She tries to go out on her own, and then when they do the live action, they give her that musical number, that cringy musical number about being a strong woman, and then she just goes and does what a man tells her right after. I'm sorry, that was so funny. But there's nothing wrong with the princess being saved. Little girls love that stuff. I ate that up when I was a little girl. Now some of it's a little weird. The one thing that it's not supposed to be thought of that much, but it is kind of weird in Snow White where like they don't even know each other. He just like goes up and kisses her. I get the thing with that. But it's I don't know, like Ever After. That was a great
Oh, I
live action.
love Ever
They made
After.
her so strong, but
I
that
love
was
Ever
perfect
After.
message. She was so strong. Like, even like, I love the part in that movie where they're getting robbed and like, okay, whatever you could carry, you can keep. And she picks up the prince.
Yeah,
And
she
then
picked up the prince.
yeah, but they still end up together and they're in love and it's great. Even the live action Cinderella with Lily Collins and Richard Madden was great. It's
Yeah, Ever After is that's a great example. Is
I
Ever
love that
After.
movie so much. I'm gonna watch it
That's such
later
a
probably
I
now.
know
I
that is
love
such a
it.
great example. Because we
Yeah.
have this girl, Cinderella, right? And she loves reading, and her dad helped her, like, he made her fall in love with books, and she meets the prince, and by happenstance, she happens to mention a quote from a book, and he finds that interesting. Like she piqued his intellect by quoting Utopia, and then because she has all of these strong moral opinions, she challenges him, and they have like this nice back and forth. And she's different from all of the girls who just kind of want to be princesses. So it's such a great story, and it's a good way to show, like, a strong girl, girl who, like, can save herself, because she even saves he comes to rescue her at the end, but then, like, she ends up saving herself already. So, like, that's a really good example of a good movie that does
message.
That has a good message. It shows a strong female character who fell in love with someone, and now they're going to have their happily ever after fairy tale at the end of the movie. So, like, that's a really good movie. I'd prefer to watch that one over, like, this new Snow White or the new what is it, Little Mermaid movie. I would watch that one over and over, and I've watched that one over and over because I really love that movie. Jasmine, if you want to do that, right, if you want to make a movie like that, like Jasmine, they didn't have to add that song to Jasmine. Jasmine was already a very strong-willed character. She was already very strong-willed.
She was sassy,
she's already rejecting all of her suitors. Nobody was good enough for her. She was already a very strong character. You don't need to show her, like, having her sing this song about how, oh, I want to be like this strong, empowered woman. Like, I want my own voice. Jasmine had a voice, okay? She already had a voice. She made it, it was frustrating for her dad because she was so outspoken. You didn't need to show her, like, not having a voice because she already did. But if another movie to make is The Princess and the Frog, make that fucking movie.
Yeah, make that live action. They care so much, and I actually really love Princess and the Frog. Tiana's dress, I think that's one of the best. Just going full girl here, but her dress at the end when they get married, that green dress is beautiful. That's one of my favorite Disney princess dresses. It's great. Tiana's beautiful. I love that movie. I'm wondering why they aren't.
Yeah, why aren't they making The Princess and the Frog? Why haven't they made that already? That is the perfect movie to send their moderator. I just read the word moderators in the chat. That is the perfect movie to send, like, that strong female message, because Tiana is a self-made woman. Like, she is saving on her own. She's working really hard. She's not interested in love. She's not interested in finding a prince. It just so happens that she meets a prince and, becomes a frog, and then ends up falling in love with him after, like, really rejecting him and kind of, like, looking down on him a little bit because he's a prince and has this very sheltered life, a very pampered life. And so, like, if you want to make a movie like you're turning all of these other movies into, then make The Princess and the Frog, because that's what that movie is.
That was also, sadly, the last 2D animation Disney movie. I don't like the 3D animation. I miss the old Disney animation. When you seen movies like Princess and the Frog and the Renaissance era ones that we grew up with, you knew that was Disney. Now, when a new Disney movie comes out, if you don't see, like, oh, brought to you by whatever, you think, is that DreamWorks? Is that this or that? Because it looks like all animation out. It does not stick out. I hate that. And it was such a beautiful movie. And yeah, Tiana was the first and only princess that worked. She's only 19. She had 2 jobs. She paid for her own restaurant. She didn't need help, and they still had a good message with the whole love. At
the end, she paid for her own. She paid for her own restaurant. Like, she didn't even rely on Prince Naveen to pay for her restaurant. She did it on her own. Like,
the message behind that movie was great. It does suck that it didn't do well when it first came out. It just didn't really hit. But the message was great. She didn't need a guy, but when she found one, she didn't push him away and wasn't yeah, she was a little sassy with him, but I could understand that. He comes and he's like, I have someone that brushes my teeth for me. And she's like, dude, I work 2 jobs. Like that's,
yeah.
but she was just like, oh, you poor baby. She was like a little silly with it, like even kind of flirty about it. And then
Mhm.
when she falls for him, she lets it happen and they end up together. She makes his life better and she's not lonely anymore. That her mom says like she wants her to go out and do stuff. Her mom doesn't want her to be lonely or end up alone because she works so hard. So she ends up with
Mhm.
a man that she's in love with. He ends up learning a very valuable lesson and he works in the restaurant with her. And
Yeah.
it's such a good message. And I don't know why they're not making it'll do great. I think that it would do great. Halle Bailey, I was surprised like that they didn't cast her as Tiana because I seen her
Exactly.
sing the Almost There song it was like a Disney sing along. She did it with her sister and I can't remember the voice actress's name that played Tiana. Those three did the song together and it was beautiful. It was so cute.
See, and that's
And
what
I
I've
just
been saying. Halle Bailey should have been cast as Tiana. They should have
Mhm.
done The Princess and the Frog. Like they should not have cast her as the Little Mermaid. They
Mm-mm.
did it knowing that it was going to cause a lot of controversy and hoping that the controversy would push for ticket sales. Like that's like what they count on now. Um,
Yeah,
but like
unfortunately.
she should have been Tiana. She would have been a great Tiana with her voice.
Yeah.
Like Tiana, the songs that Tiana sings, you need a great big powerful voice to sing those songs. She should have been Tiana.
Yeah, she should have. I don't know. Someone is just not Disney's all kinds of messed up right now, but I hope that one day they end up going back to what they used to be. Like maybe if their money's messed with enough, they will. Uh but I don't know. Like I didn't even think about the points that like everything that they do, like race swapping. It's like with Tiana, you literally don't have to do that and she's such a great character
Mm-hmm.
message, but I feel like they would even change that. They probably would make Prince Naveen even like worse somehow. Like they probably would because it's like you can't just have a normal guy nor like it's exhausting how
I
Disney is.
know. They
And with
really they literally wouldn't have to change a thing about that movie. Like they really
no
wouldn't. Like that is their message, like wrapped and bow tied on the platter to them. Like that is what they want. That's what they're trying to turn all of these classic movies into. And here they have their one movie that actually has that message in there, like a hard working woman who like has been standing on her own 2 feet, and they're they're not adapting it to live action. Or if they are, they're like way too late in doing it because they're trying to change all of these other ones and people are rejecting it when they could have just had this one movie.
Yeah. And before we get off the Disney and Snow White topic here, I said this when was first talked about, like when the casting first dropped, which I laughed so hard. The dude in the back looks like somebody's auntie of the dwarfs, like that tall guy that's like freaking taller than Drug 3PO. He looks like someone's auntie that has like candy in the purse. Like it's so weird. I don't know what they were doing. And I think Peter Dinklage was pulling he pulled the ladder up behind him. Like he made there's one little person. So 6 people that normally would not be able to get a job because little people aren't really called for in Hollywood, depending unless it's a role like, I don't know, 7 dwarfs from a fantasy film.
Yeah.
So
He's
6
like
people lost a
gatekeeping.
job.
I know, he's
Yeah,
like gatekeeping dwarf jobs for himself. Now, I will say this, okay? I've heard that the picture that is going like viral, those aren't the 7 dwarves.
really. That'd
Yeah.
be fun. If it's not and they trolled us, that was a good troll.
So I've heard that is like in the movie. They are in the movie, but those aren't the 7 dwarves. The actual like the casting, like that hasn't like been announced yet. Um
Oh, okay.
yeah, like
It's gonna be Peter Dinklage
that's what
CGI. It's all
that's
gonna
what
be
I
him.
heard. And the reason like I was like, okay, hold up a second, because I thought that they had cast this one dwarf actor as Grumpy, and they like we saw that like there was an article saying that like there was this one actor who was cast as Grumpy. I can't remember, his name escapes me right now. But that it was like rumored casting. Well, like it's kind of confirmed casting because he is in the movie. and he plays Grumpy. He's one of the 7 dwarfs. And I was like looking at this photo and I was like, hey, that's not him. Like, who are these people? Like, they're in the movie, but like those aren't the 7 dwarfs. So
Okay, well that's a good listen. That's a good troll. That drummed up a lot of
yeah, like they're,
lot of
I guess
people
they're
talking.
like bandits or whatever in the movie, but they're not the
Oh.
dwarves. Yeah, they're apparently they're in the movie. Those are characters in the movie. They're not stand-ins for the dwarves. Those are actual characters in the movie, but they're just not the dwarves. Like the dwarves are whole like different characters. At least that's what I heard.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Wee Man,
Either
Wee Man's
way,
so
they
funny.
look ridiculous.
Yeah, they do. The costume it's terrible. I'm gonna
Yeah.
actually, before we're done
It's
with this,
cheap.
I'll pull up some cosplays that are beautiful. But he said it's a bad thing that he's not agreeing with because what they're doing is pretty much replacing jobs that people could have as little people. Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, it's for dwarfs. And the thing is, it's not supposed to be like some kind of, I don't know, slur against little people, because in the movie it's explained, or at least the lore behind it is that they're fantasy characters. It's men that, they're like jolly little men that work in the mines like the dwarfs do. And it's like they're mystical creatures. Not that they have powers or anything, but it's not like, just because they're small they're called dwarfs. No, it's not what it means.
Well, not only that, but like some of these characters, like if you're an actor, if you're a dwarf actor, those are like dream roles for you.
Yeah.
You know, like 7 dwarfs in Snow White, or like Munchkins in Wizard of Oz, or Oompa Loompas. Like those are like dream roles for you as a dwarf actor. And by Peter Dinklage saying what he's saying, it's just totally taking away from those actors maybe achieving a dream role, like one of their dream roles, because let's be honest, like there aren't very many like acting opportunities for dwarf actors unless the script calls for a dwarf actor, like Peter Dinklage's character in Elf. They needed a dwarf actor for Will Ferrell to look at him and be like, oh, you're an angry elf, so Peter Dinklage got the role because it called for a dwarf actor. But a lot of these roles are dream roles for dwarf actors, and by Peter Dinklage saying what he's saying, like he's totally taking that away from them.
He should want more, like in a time where everyone's screaming and crying about diversity. He should be happy that people that he represents are now getting roles. And just with the costume design, look at this lady. Like, look how
That's
beautiful
gorgeous.
that Snow White is. Like this too. Like what? I don't know what they can say what they want. Actually, you probably seen this. Nina posted. I think it was a cosplayer. No, she posted the picture, like, say what you want. Like, they're like, oh, but it's behind the scenes. And they're trying to tell her, like, no, it's behind the scenes. Like, she posted it next to Lily James' Cinderella dress, which was beautiful. Yeah. And then she found a picture of Lily James behind the scenes in a beautiful blue dress. And she's like, okay, well, this is still behind the scenes. And it's just like the quality has gone down so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you see these women doing cosplays that are beautiful.
I know.
And
you're kind of like left wondering, like, what is the money going to? Because Disney has like these big bloated budgets. You would think that the costumes would be out of this world, phenomenal, gorgeous costumes, and they look so cheap. Like they came from the thrift store. Like the 7 actors in the field look like they just left a thrift store. Like it looks
or Party
so
City.
Cheap.
Getting hippie costumes at Party City.
It looks so cheap.
Yeah. I don't know. I was on a stream. I don't remember who said this, that they think the budget goes to like the food for the actors. And I'm like, wow, maybe. That's pretty crazy. That's so Wicked needs a Snow White costume for cosplay. I should. I'm not dark. I mean, I'm too dark to play Snow White, though. I'd have to, I had to heavily edit those pictures. Like right now, I look kind of light. I'm darker than this. It's my ring light. But
I was gonna say, like, I finally feel seen and represented in the character of Snow White.
Because Latina is playing Snow
Jesus,
White.
it's so terrible. Nobody asked, but I don't want to be pandered to. Okay, Disney, I don't need to be pandered to. I want my characters to look like they look when I watched the movie when I was little. Like that is Snow White to me. I don't need to be pandered to. Get out of here.
Yeah. So even back to like not Barbie talk, but playing with Barbie talk. I had an Aladdin doll and I had a Jasmine doll. They stayed together. My Ken now. I had one Ken and 10 Barbies. Every other day he had a new wife, but not Aladdin. The other Barbies weren't allowed to touch him. Even 5-year-old me knew that lore mattered. Okay. So
Yeah,
that age
exactly.
has been- I'm like making a joke, but I'm dead serious. I was like,
Yeah.
that's how little kids think. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, right. Mando does not feel seen. She wants her redheads back.
I want you to
You
have
know
your
who?
redheads back.
You know who probably would have been a good actress to play in The Little Mermaid? The girl from Riverdale. What's her name? She has red hair though. The actress from Riverdale, Madeline something. Hold on. I have to find her now. But she's pretty and she's like probably a good age now. I mean, gosh, Riverdale's been on for 7. Jesus. Such a terrible show. But it's been on for freaking 7 years. Yeah, so she's like probably 30 now. But she would have been there. Madeline Petch, that's her name. Here, I'll pull it over here.
Oh yeah.
I mean, she doesn't have the traditional red hair, but they could have. I mean, they should have. Even with that, they could have done that with Haley. Like, do some kind of CGI. I seen people like doing it themselves, giving her redder hair, and it looked better. They could have kept the braids. But she probably. I don't know if she can sing though, Madeline. But yeah, she would have been okay, probably better, at least look wise, to play Ariel because she's got red hair.
I know. Bring back redheads. Let's do it.
I know. Ridiculous. Wait. Who would play 7 magical creatures of unspecific height? I don't know. If we're gonna go by that movie, I'll just go like find everyone that I'm friends with. Jay could be the one auntie in the back. If that's really, that's the first that just caught my eye. If those were the dwarves, that's hilarious. Yeah. We have one more thing to talk about here. Then we're gonna wrap up. I'm sure Steph has 20 other things that she's got to do right now. Steph's a busy little bee. This shout out to Roto. He sent this to me like 2 minutes before my stream, and I was like, "Oh, okay." And Steph really likes Batman as well, so this would be a cool little thing to end on. It's
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Okay. I had an issue the other day on my stream where things weren't showing up. Let me zoom in on this. Okay, so Batman City of Madness R-rated horror officially announced. This article just dropped yesterday. So an R-rated Black Label Batman story, Batman of Madness, has been announced. It releases later this year. There's been a rumor of weird and wonderful DC stories about Batman over the years. We've seen the world's greatest detective in a never-ending battle with his rogues gallery, travel the multiverse meeting his alternate selves, battle aliens and predators, and even go head-to-head with Dracula. However, a new Batman story aims to bring the Dark Knight and his beloved Gotham City into the world of cosmic horror with Batman City of Madness by writer and artist Christian Ward. So this is the cover of it. So if you guys don't know what this is, which I heard of it before, like a little bit. I had to actually read on I didn't know what they were talking about in the beginning. So the story will take Batman into an even more warped version of Gotham that exists underneath the city. So it's kind of like mole people, I guess, but it's an alternate version of Gotham. It's been described as a living nightmare populated by twisted mirrors of Gotham's denizens, fueled by the fear and hatred flowing down from above. That's interesting. Apparently, the alternate version of the city was guarded by the Court of Owls, a fan favorite Batman antagonist who failed to keep the nightmare hidden, unleashing an evil version of the Caped Crusader. Batman will apparently have to team up with the Court of Owls to stop the threat and save the city from himself, as well as twisted versions of his most popular and dangerous villains. Now, that's pretty scary. Think of a more twisted, like Joker and Harley.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, speaking about the story, Ward said, my new book from DC Official, A Dream Come True, my cosmic horror Batman story, a Batman City of Madness, a 3 prestige 48-page issue miniseries written and drawn by me, out October.
I'm going to buy that.
I know, me too. It seems really interesting. Yeah. He went on to say, City of Madness is my love letter to Batman and a pseudo-sequel to Arkham Asylum, Serious House on a Serious Earth, and I have absolutely not come to play. So it's going to be out October 10th, the 10th of October later this year. So kind of soon. Yeah,
that sounds awesome.
Yeah, I'll get that. That sounds really cool. And it's smart that they're releasing it in October. It's, spooky season.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Roto, for sharing that. Yeah, it sounds really awesome. That. Yeah, I'm down. Especially because it sounds like almost like a fan like he's a fan of it, so he's probably
Mhm.
gonna do a good job. Some of these, creators aren't that great. They just want to change and make everyone like gay and stuff, like Jonathan Kent. And
Oh God,
yeah, it's nuts. But
that's really
anyways,
bad.
I
That uh, that no, what was it? It wasn't John. Was it Jonathan Kent? That fucking image of like the guy like flying on top of each other or something
was
like.
that him? I know there
No,
was
I
some
don't.
weird
It
stuff.
wasn't Jonathan Kent, but like seriously, everything's gay now.
Seriously, yes, yes. It is. You're not wrong though. And that's where I go with like woke. If they have new characters that come out like and they're gay, whatever, it's fine. Like a new series, a new. But when they take old characters, like really, they're gonna make Superman's son gay. Why? Just make a new character in the Superman
Yeah.
verse if you want. Like make his best friend gay or something. I don't
Because
know.
that requires work, and they are incredibly lazy. So they
Yes.
don't want to start a new character from the ground up. They just want to take already established characters and write them how and insert themselves in those characters. Like that's the easier thing to do as opposed to like create a whole new character. And also like if they do create a new character, nobody's gonna read it because it's boring. This already has like an established fan base, an established reader base. So why bother creating something new and creating a fan base around your new property when you can just take someone else's and insert your whatever you want into it? It's 100% lazy. It's
Yeah.
very lazy.
That's why
And
I
also
say
they know that
gotta mess
whatever
with
they
their
create
money.
is not going to sell. Like it's going to be universally rejected and they know it because they
Yeah.
know that like they're inherently their ideas are stupid, rejected, not interesting, not creative. And so they know that it's not going to do well. So that's why they just sort of, pick and choose which legacy character they want to change.
Yep. And it's really sad because they're just going to end up losing money. You got to mess with their money to get their attention. But there's enough fans that are still staying loyal that it's going to be a long time probably before it hits that point. I've heard a lot of rumors that they're trying to sell DC. That they've been trying to sell it. It's been in talk for years. I forgot where I seen this, but I guess even Ethan Van Sciver said it like a long time ago, and he used to work for them, that they want to sell it. And I wonder if that's because they're trying to kind of jump ship. And I read an article that and I don't think this is legit. I hope it is. It could be kind of like under wraps, but that Universal might be in talks to buy DC. I would love that because I think they probably would fix it. It would be a big competition for Disney. Like the Universal Disney War would be even more so because they would own. So I think they would go hard with it and they would make it better because they would have it be against Marvel, like Disney. I just hope I hope to God they don't sell to Disney because then it's just done. It's completely. It's not. I don't have hope for it, but
Disney,
with
Disney doesn't have the money to buy it. Like I don't think you would have to be worried about that because Disney is already like so upside down in their debt. They don't have the money to buy it. They're laying off so many people. They're already selling off some of their like things that they own, some of their IPs. They're thinking about selling Disney Plus. Like they don't have the money to buy DC. So even if they wanted to, they couldn't do it.
That's true. So Universal, if they buy, I would actually be excited and hopeful if Universal obtained the rights to DC because I don't think they would play. Me and Steph will buy it. I got $20.
I know, right? $20, my final offer.
Yeah.
From each of us.
Yeah, 40. You're lucky. We'll each give it to you. Oh my gosh. But I'm excited for that though. That seems like it was a fan, and he said he's like I didn't come to play. I like hearing that, so I think that'll be fun. I like horror stuff. Oh, look at that, 45. America still chip in $5.
We got it. It's in the bag.
Make sure I didn't miss anything before we sign off here. Thank you. Oh, look who just hopped in.
Grant.
Hi, Grant. Bob plus Steph. What a combo. Miss streaming with you, Steph. We missed you too, Grant. I haven't streamed with Grant in a while.
Yeah, it's been a while for me too.
I mean, well, I was on like that little mini full Aussie one that Rhino hosts on Wednesdays, but it was only like a half hour. Because I'm not up. I feel so bad. I'm never up on it so early and on Wednesday.
It's early.
It is. Early. But hi, Grant. Thank you for the $2. I have to make sure I'm not missing anything. I'm like, it's like I'm tired, but I had that coffee, so I'm probably going to take melatonin to go to sleep tonight. It's okay.
I know, me too. I need to get some tea after this because I have to hop on
Yeah.
the G&G stream.
Oh yeah. Well, thank you so much. What do you have anything to plug? Thanks for coming on. I'm so happy. And guys, now you can stop yelling at me. I've been wanting Steph to come on for a while too, and we just had a wonderful time. And I hit 2K with Steph here, so I'm really
Whoop, whoop.
happy. What do you have going on? Anything coming up this week?
Just follow me on Kick. Trying to get to 400 followers there. So yeah, follow me on Kick. I stream there whenever I have a chance. Usually maybe like once or twice a week. So I'm gonna try and stream more. Beardo's trying to get me to stream more on Kick, and I know I need to.
Yes, do it.
So
Do it.
yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to yell like Beardo.
Do it.
Do it.
So yeah, follow me on Kick. I'll be streaming there a lot more, and all the other regular places: YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. That's where I'm most active.
I can hear Beardo yelling.
I
Tell him to shush. No, kidding.
He's like right behind me too, and my door's closed, his door's closed. He's just that loud.
Yeah, I believe it. But guys, yes, thank you everyone for dropping Steph's links. I have her Kick, her YouTube, her Twitter, her Instagram, all in the description. Make sure you give her a follow if you're not. We've all been on this Kick grind. We're taking it over. I love Kick. I haven't been on Twitch in like 3 months. I'm not gonna delete it because you never know. But yeah, I really like Kick. So
yeah, I was really worried about like moving over to Kick because I had grown my Twitch.
Yeah,
so,
same.
So I was like, but
the growth is really happening, especially when everyone just like kind of supports each other. And I know what I was live and I seen like 20 minutes later that you followed. I was like, Steph's on Kick? What? I didn't even know. So I was like, guys, go follow her. All right. So guys, make sure you're following Steph and everything. Thank you again so much for being here. This was a lot of fun. I'm glad we got to have that. That was a very neutral Barbie talk. We didn't get any hate. So you guys, thank you for not yelling at us in the chat. That was great. But oh, now I just messed up my mouse. All right, Steph's got to go to G&G. Thank you guys, and I will see you guys tomorrow for another Wicked's World.
Woo! 2K. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. Bye.